Hello everyone, welcome back to the new lecture. So in this lecture we'll discuss components of HVAC system. After the end of this lecture, you would be able to understand the heating components, then we'll discuss about the ventilation components, and then we'll see air conditioning components. After that, we'll discuss the next air filtration and purification components, controls and thermostat. Then we'll show you the miscellaneous components, okay, used in HVAC system. So let's start. So now here the first component of HVAC system which we have to discuss is heating component. Okay, so we have a different types of heating component. In that, first is what? Furnaces. Furnaces is what? See, it is written here, furnace are the most common heating system in used in residential setting. They can be powered by natural gas, propane, oil or electricity. How the furnace work? The furnace, first of all, the furnace heats air by burning fuel within a combustion chamber. Combustion chamber is what? Combustion chamber is where the fuel is burned to generate heat, and it is typically made up of heat resistant material and designed to contain the combustion process safely. Okay. So first of all, furnace heat air by burning fuel within a combustion chamber. The heated air is then circulated throughout the building via ductwork. Modern furnaces often include features such as variable speed blowers and electronic ignition for improved efficiency and performance. Okay, so this is the first component of heating system, furnace. Now the next component of heating system is boiler. So what do you understand by boiler? See, boiler generally heats water or generate steam, okay, which is then circulated through pipes to provide heat to radiator, baseboard heater or radiant floor system. So boiler system are commonly used in both residential and commercial building, providing efficient and even heat distribution. So we have a different components of boiler like burner, combustion chamber, heat exchanger, pumps, expansion tank. Then we have a pressure relief valve, okay, control panel, fuel pipes, thermostats, air vent. So these components work together to heat water or produce steam, which is then distributed throughout the building to provide warmth and comfort. Okay, so remember here the regular maintenance and inspection are essential to keep the boiler system running smoothly and safely. Okay, now the third component of heating is heat pump. What is this? Heat pumps are versatile system that can provide both heating and cooling by transferring heat between the indoor and outdoor environment. Okay, in heating mode, generally what happen, a heat pump extract heat from the outdoor air and transfer it indoor, and in cooling mode it reverses this process to remove heat from indoor and release it outdoor. Heat pumps are known for their energy efficiency, especially in moderate climate. Okay, so we have a different component of a heat pump system like outdoor unit, then we have a indoor unit, refrigerant line, expansion valves, thermostats. Okay, so these all components work together to provide efficient heating and cooling by transferring heat between the indoor and outdoor environments. So heat pumps offer energy efficient heating and cooling solution, particularly in moderate climate, and can provide both comfort and cost saving for homeowner. Okay, here also regular maintenance and professional servicing are essential to ensure the proper functioning and longevity of heat pump systems. Okay, so these are the heating components. So now here we have to discuss about the ventilation component. Okay, in that, first is fans. So here it is written that fans are essential component of ventilation system responsible for moving air throughout the building. So in mechanical ventilation system, generally fans may be used to exhaust stale air from the building and or supplying fresh outdoor air. Okay. Fan can also be part of air handling unit that circulate air through ductwork in HVAC system. After that, the next component of ventilation is air duct. Okay. So ductwork is a network of metal or flexible tubes that distribute heated or cooled air throughout the building. So the properly designed and insulated ductwork ensure efficient airflow and consistent comfort. So damper within ductwork may be used to regulate airflow to different zone or room within the building. Okay. So these are the ventilation components. Next is air conditioning components. So here also we have a different components of air conditioning. In that the first is compressor and condenser. See, central air conditioning system include an outdoor unit that houses the compressor and condenser coils. Okay, the compressor pressurize and circulate refrigerant. The main purpose of compressor is to pressurize the refrigerant and circulate refrigerant, while the condenser coil release heat from the refrigerant into the outdoor air. So this is the main purpose, okay, of compressor and condenser. Now the next component of air conditioning is evaporator coil. Generally the evaporator coil is located inside the indoor unit of a central air conditioning system. How this evaporator coil work? See, as refrigerant passes through the evaporator coil, it absorbs heat from the indoor air, cooling it in the process. Okay. Then the next component of air conditioning is refrigerant lines. Okay. Refrigerant line generally connects the indoor and outdoor unit of a central air conditioning system, allowing refrigerant to flow between the two. Okay. So these lines are typically insulated. You can see in this figure, these lines are typically insulated to prevent energy loss and maintain system efficiency. Generally in figure, the insulation which we are showing is nitrile rubber. Sometime we are using, okay, this is a nitrile rubber, fiberglass. Okay, so different types of insulation material are used. So these are the components of air conditioning. Now the next component is what? Air filtration and purification components. Okay, so in that first is air filter. So air filter generally removes dust, pollen, okay, pet dander and other airborne particles from the air as it circulate through the HVAC system. So generally we are using different types of filter. Okay, so filter comes in various types and efficiencies, ranging from standard fiberglass filter to high efficiency particulate air HEPA filters. Okay, so as per requirement we have to use. Then the next is air purifier. So air purifiers use technologies such as UVC light, HEPA filtration, activated carbon, or ionization to further clean the air by removing bacteria, viruses, odors, and volatile organic compounds. Okay, so this is the another component. Now the next component of HVAC system is control and thermostat. Okay, so all of you know what is the main purpose of thermostat. Thermostat generally regulate temperature, okay, by sensing the ambient temperature and activating heating or cooling system as needed. Is it clear? So modern thermostat may include programmable schedule, remote access via smartphone apps, and learning capabilities to optimize energy usage. Then the next control panel here generally. So this control panel may be used for what purpose? To manage various components of the HVAC system, such as setting temperature limit, scheduling operation times, and monitoring system performance, etc. Okay. So now the next we have to discuss about the miscellaneous component of HVAC system. In that, the first is humidifier and dehumidifier. Okay. So remember, humidifiers and dehumidifiers are devices used to control indoor humidity level. Okay, contributing to a comfortable and healthy indoor environments. Okay. Now see one by one. Humidifier is what? All of you know that humidifiers add moisture to the air. Okay, increasing humidity level in dry indoor environment. Generally, we are using. We have a different types of humidifier like evaporative humidifier, ultrasonic humidifier, steam vaporizer. So as per requirement, we have to use. Okay. So now the question is, what is the benefits of using humidifier? So you can say we have a multiple benefits like alleviating dry scale humidifier, alleviating dry scale, throat and nasal passages, relieving symptoms of respiratory conditions such as allergies, asthma and sinusitis. Okay, it also prevent wooden furniture, musical instruments and floor from drying out and cracking. It also improve the indoor air quality by reducing static electricity and dust level. So that is why the regular cleaning and disinfection to prevent mold and bacteria growth is necessary. Okay, so this is the main purpose of humidifier. Next it is written, a dehumidifier remove excess moisture. What is the main purpose of dehumidifier? It removes excess moisture from the air, reducing humidity level in damp indoor environments. So here also we have a different types of dehumidifier: refrigerating dehumidifier, desiccant dehumidifiers. Okay, their benefits is what? It prevents mold, mildew and musty odor by reducing moisture level. It also protect furnitures, electronics and valuable from damage caused by humidity. But the main target, it improves indoor air quality by reducing allergens and the risk of respiratory issues. It also increases comfort by reducing clamminess and stickiness in the air. Okay, so that is why the maintenance is very important here. Maintenance of dehumidifier, so emptying the water reservoir regularly and cleaning it to prevent mold and bacteria growth. Okay, so both humidifier and dehumidifiers plays important role in maintaining balanced indoor humidity level, contributing to overall comfort and well-being. So the choice between a humidifier or dehumidifier depend on the specific need of the indoor environment. Okay, such as climate, season and existing humidity levels. Okay, now the next component is thermostatic expansion wall. What are this? See, so here it is written, see, first of all, remember the primary function of a thermostatic expansion valve is to control the amount of refrigerant, okay, entering the evaporator coil based on the cooling load and temperature requirement of the system. This it maintains a constant superheat, which is the temperature difference between the refrigerant saturation temperature and its actual temperature leaving the evaporator coil. So by adjusting the flow of refrigerant, the thermostatic expansion valve ensures that the evaporator coil operates at peak efficiency and maintain proper cooling capacity under varying load conditions. So how this thermostatic expansion wall work, that I will just discuss. See what happen here, as the temperature of the refrigerant leaving the evaporator coil increases, the sensing bulb also heat up, causing the temperature sensitive fluid inside it to expand. So the expansion of the fluid exert pressure on the diaphragm, which in turn open the valve to allow more refrigerant flow into the evaporator coil. Conversely, if the temperature decreases, the fluid contracts, reducing the pressure on the diaphragm and closing the valve to restrict refrigerant flow. So this continuous adjustment ensures that the superheat remains constant, optimizing the efficiency of the evaporator coil and the overall performance of the HVAC system. Okay. So in summary, you can say the thermostatic expansion valve is a critical component in HVAC system responsible for regulating refrigerant flow to maintain optimal evaporator coil performance and system efficiency. Okay, so this is all about the thermostatic expansion valve. Now in miscellaneous component, the next component is condensate drain. Okay, so here you can see that it is written, see, the condensate drain remove moisture collected from the evaporator coil during the cooling process, preventing water damage and maintaining system efficiency. So the main purpose of a condensate drain is to remove excess moisture, okay, from the air conditioning system. So during the cooling process, warm air passes over the evaporator coil, all of you know, causing moisture in the air to condense into the liquid water. So if this condensate is not removed from the system, what happen? It can accumulate and lead to issues such as mold growth, water damage and reduce system efficiency. That is why we have to condensate this water from the air conditioning system. Okay, so for that we have a different component. Okay, condensate pan, we are using condensate drain line, condensate pump to condensate the water we are using. Okay, where we have to locate this condensate drain line? This condensate drain line typically exit the HVAC system near the evaporator coil and may be routed through wall, ceiling or floor to reach the exterior of the building or a designated drainage location. So it is important to ensure that the condensate drain line is installed within the proper slope to facilitate drainage and prevent the buildup of stagnant water. Okay. So in short, you can say that condensate drain play a vital role in HVAC system by removing moisture generated during the cooling process, thus preventing water damage and maintaining indoor air qualities. Okay, so this is the main components of HVAC system. Now the topics which we have covered here. First of all, we have learned in depth about the heating component, ventilation component, air conditioning component. Then we have learned about the air filtration and purification components, control and thermostat. After that, we have discussed the miscellaneous component of HVAC system. So this is all about the components of HVAC system. I hope all of you enjoy the session. See you in next one.